start their creative path. So just wanted to invite you guys to come along and be a part of that. And actually, I'll actually play a little bit of the pod while I'm on live. But if you haven't had a chance, if you go on YouTube, click Focal Conversations, it should take you to the pod, or you can follow my channel, The Dual Exchange, and it also will take you to the pod. So I'm hoping that you guys are enjoying that, those that are watching. I'm actually going to switch over. Let me see. Switch over right now. Countdown happening. And if you've actually That's loud. There we go. All right. The pod's going down. Again, if you want to actually, quality here is a little pixelated.
Series, but I think we could take it one additional step.
I don't know why it looks like that.
Yeah,
Let's see if I can
Wait.
fix the version of it.
How are you doing? I'm sorry.
Let's see here. Quality is at 144p. Let's go.
Around this
Higher
time,
picture quality. Let's.
around this time.
That's not helping it any.
I guess when people see this,
Let's see. Jill Nora Snaps is in the building. What's going on, Jill Nora?
If
If you want to see this clearer, you can just definitely go on to what's up, Anthony Talk Life. We got Anthony Talk. Yo, what's going on, man? Hold on, let me actually turn my sound effects. So actually, I can turn this off, and let me get some sound effects going. Shout out to my guy. Anthony, man, it was so good to meet you in Vegas, man. I realize now that we are brothers for life. And it was so much fun to create with you, and just, when you meet genuinely good people after waiting so long, sometimes that anticipation kind of like makes it not worthwhile. But in this case, it was a blessing. So I'm glad that I have a creative brother and a brother out in Vegas. Hi, Jonora. Hi, what's going on? We got my guy Amul in the building. What's going on, Amul? How's everything, man? My brother, man. You in here early. It's 7:30 in Vegas. I appreciate you, bro.
You call your mom by her name?
Well, the young
I'm
lady
getting there.
thought she was
I'm getting
too
there.
young for the kids to call her mommy. When we
Why
called
is
her
this
mommy,
coming in so pixelated?
No. Then she had
If
her
you're over on
last
YouTube,
child.
though, just
all of
go
a
ahead and
sudden
click
she
over
won't be
there,
mommy.
the
Okay.
Dual
So why don't you
Exchange,
say
or
something
look up
to your
Focal
mom,
Conversations,
on the show
so
in
you
your
can
native
see
tongue?
I
that.
think she will be proud that I'm using Edward.
Okay.
But
Hold on real fast.
Positively no
You're right, my
good
guy. It
mommy,
truly felt like a
no
blessing
fair
meeting you in this.
mommy.
Amen, bro. 100%. 100%. Guys, make sure you are check out my guy Anthony Tog Life. You can check him out on Instagram. You can check him out on YouTube. He's going to teach you something that you did not know, and do it in a way that's so palatable. That's one thing that I like about Ant-Man. So
Let's get right into it.
on here real fast so you guys can
Natasha,
kind of get
we
a
talked about,
quick
I alluded
tidbit
to
as to
before,
what
kind of
this week's
got to
pod's
that
all about.
We're doing kind of like almost a series. We started 2 back-to-back episodes for the pod, talking about community, the feeling of it, the takeaway of it. But then the next step.
That's a question
the
I'm
next
asking
step
myself, man.
Is what we're talking about today. And what is our topic today?
It is. I love this topic. I don't know if it's just the context or the wording. The solo flight.
The solo flight. Yeah.
Can I define that?
Oh, yeah. Well, go right ahead.
You see, I'm not throwing anything. A solo flight. We've talked about building your community, but does that mean your work, your style, your niche has to be the same that of your community?
It's a good topic. Good topic. Good
Right.
topic.
You can
Sorry, it's
still
looking
have a
pixelated, guys. I have no
community,
why.
but you can still
Reason. No why.
stand on your own branding.
Yeah.
Your own style
All right,
of
man.
images.
See you later, Mo.
You can create your own.
Oh, boy.
I don't want to see your picture looking like everybody else's in the community. Nope.
Well,
Solo flight.
Let's get right into it. So, like Natasha said, the solo flight is one by which, we talked about the importance of community. We talked about the importance of mentorship. We've talked about all of these things. But the next step for a creative is having those identifiable measures that help you stand out in the market of photography.
Yeah.
And we're talking to
That's what I'm
from the standpoint of
thinking as well.
Because if you're doing
Just
it
because I was like, wait a second, let's start
a-
looking 4K earlier.
if you're doing it as a hobby, it's not.
Hey,
something
Zalana,
that
how are you?
is, something where you have to establish an identifiable thing just yet because it's hobby.
It's you as a hobby. You're still trying to figure it out, right?
Right,
or
right.
you just love what you do and you want to stay at that level. That's fine. But if you want to be recognized as a brand, or you want someone to recognize that a photo is from Michael Edwards, you want to be recognizable.
No complaints. I'm happy to be
among
here.
The saturated community.
And I'm happy that you're sharing
have to figure
some
out
niceties with
what your
me as
style
well.
is.
And an example that I'll share, I like sneakers. I love sneakers. I love.
That's an
Let's not
understatement.
go there because
sneakers.
I'm still intending to
If you
sue
don't,
you.
if you don't know me,
I'm still intending to sue you.
I have a vast collection of sneakers.
A
And
vast.
sometimes the people you hang around with, you become victim to their addiction. listen. I just.
Can I get to my analogy without you pouring out your own?
You become victim to their addiction because him.
All right.
We digress.
But I love
Tell your story.
sneakers. I love sneakers, right? But the importance of sneakers is that every brand has a different interpretation of what a sneaker is, right? So a sneaker is a sneaker, but what makes a sneaker different from the next brand?
You can
there's
identify Nike apart from Adidas.
absolutely. So that if you see that check, that is a Nike sneaker, and they're going to go into making sure it looks a certain way. If it has a flying person with a basketball, that's Michael Jordan. And those
You got the itch as
Jordan
well,
items that are
DJ.
gonna go into certain brands. And you know that
Yeah,
there's
you've
specific
been
types of
dropping,
sneakers.
getting some heat
Jordan
lately.
1 through forever, and then you have other brands like New Balances and Adidas that have identifiable types of sneakers. Now they're all sneakers.
They're all sneakers.
They're all sneakers.
They all go on your feet.
They're all sneakers, but they all have a difference in what they present to the market.
Yeah.
The same thing can be said about the solo flight. Yes, we are coming from a community. Yes, we are coming from the high of the community. Yes, we're coming from the fact that we've learned how to do something through mentorship in the community. But
thing
it
about a
doesn't
pod,
mean that
as long
we
as the audio's good, we're good.
self-replicate what
Everybody's
the next person
doing.
is doing, And it's one of those things where the creative community gets caught up in trend.
I see a lot of you
We get
guys are
caught up in
watching
trends. We get caught up
over
in
on
other people's
YouTube as well.
styles. And sometimes we get lost. That gets lost in translation. In the solo flight, what was something that was identifiable for you that said, okay, I need to take off on a solo flight? And in doing so, what were some of the measures that you could click in and say, this is me?
I don't think I needed to do that from a photography standpoint. As an individual, I'm always a solo flight, if that makes sense. I like to stand out among the noise. So I didn't go into it. It took me a minute to find my style, but I never had a thought to say, I want this image to look exactly like Michael's. I knew there were components of your image that I wanted to pull through mine, especially when we finally did off-camera flash. It took me a minute to get there, but I was like, if I add this splash of light to it, I can get what I want.
Right.
And I tend not to compare what I'm doing with other people, but when I got to
That's big. That's
exactly
big
where
right
I
there.
was, I was like, okay, I like this. And then I try to replicate it as much as I can. And then it just became organic for me to keep that style. It took a lot to transition. I'm like, I like this with more light. I like this darker. I was going back and forth. But I knew eventually I will get to the point where this is just my unique style.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's just a part of how I function.
Yeah. Something similar to that effect happened with me. You know, I talk about how, like, I started my journey, my photography journey with my good friend Jerome. We have a mutual friend who's a really good photographer. And I initially
Again, if you want to see this
so
in
in
4K,
love
you can watch it
with
right now
his style
on
of photography
YouTube.
that I tried
Focal
to
Conversations,
emulate it instead of
or
trying
the
to
Dual Exchange,
transition to my
and click
own
the
style.
pod Focal Conversations.
And I didn't know that was a bad thing. I thought that the process of becoming a photographer is to get like someone and then market yourself. The solo flight is really the complete opposite of that. It almost is, I study, but then what are my takeaways from it? How do I make it uniquely my own? How do I set myself differently so that when you see my image, you see Michael Edwards.
Yeah.
And you don't see someone else. Because, you know, there are identifiable photographers here in the DMV where you can look and say, that's their picture. That's people in the city.
Yeah.
That's a see-through, or that's you know, a Ron. Like, there are so many different styles out here that you can say that's their style. But you never want it to be your style, kind of like falling into that, you know?
Yeah, I think something just hit me when I was trying to find my style. I'm more of someone who shoots full body. I know at times, even when you say, like, oh, try a portrait, I'm like, no, I want the full shot. I want the shoes. I want the hat. I want every color in there. And I think that's why I found this is what I love. Yes, you have to expand because sometimes clients come for a headshot. A headshot is not a full body.
No.
So then I had to pivot. What's the word?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, look at you.
No, so I had to. I know full body pictures and composition. I had to add to my taste bud and say, okay, this is where I'm at. This is what I love. Oftentimes you'll see, you know, a portrait headshot, but you know, I had to figure out. I don't like missing the shoes in the picture, and if it's colorful, it's coming in.
Yeah,
it's coming in. So I like colors. I thought at some point I like my pictures a little darker and moody, and then I realized I'm not a moody photographer, because I kind of saw you doing that, and I was like, maybe I like this. Then I tried. I was like, no, I don't like that. That's not me. That's Mike. But yeah, definitely full body with colors is my vibe.
But I would say that even when I was lending you my knowledge on that, it was more so that you understood what's available to you. You know, and therein lies the difference with you taking your solo flight. You're supposed to equip yourself with your own tool bag.
Yeah.
I'll say a tool bag. Everybody's tool bag, if you go into someone's house, their tool bag looks different. Some people just need like a Phillips screwdriver here and, you know, a flathead.
Some of them need
some
more
people
than a
need
Phillips
some
screwdriver,
people have
and
power drills and all these different bits. You know, everybody's tool bag looks different within their home, and that's what you have to kind of use when it comes to your photography style. Yeah, you'll have
that, man.
Phillips
I appreciate
here,
it.
You'll have a drill there, but you want to make sure there is something that puts you.
It's also the fact that
and
we've been
puts you
doing
in a
this
position
for
where
a
you can
long
achieve it
time.
on your own. So community sometimes we rely on
And we run a
people,
community
somebody
together.
to but I've also found
Yeah,
that if
appreciate
I use
that,
my
bro.
smaller setup, which is the 200s and a 42-inch softbox, I'm good.
Right.
But sometimes I'm thinking, okay, I can use the 2 600s and you're not there. I was like, no, I'll take it. I'll take it with me, and then I'll
Right.
get to the shoot. And I'm like, this is not me.
Right.
So I've realized I'm comfortable just using that smaller setup, and I can achieve it on my own if my community is not available to help me. So it's figuring
Again,
out, even
guys, we're
with the
just
tools that
kind
you have, how can you manage it
on the
on your
premiere
own
of
to create
episode
what you
13 of
want?
Focal Conversations. We're
figuring
talking
all that
about
out
the
does
solo
take you to where
flight,
you need
the
to
next
be
step
at that
in a
solo
3-part
flight.
So I have
series
a
that we're
question for
talking
you.
about the creative community experience.
Once you get into solo flight mode, do you stay there, or do you still feel
Yeah.
like it is necessary
What's up,
to still
fam?
connect?
You was on
back
YouTube Live?
into the
Oh, man.
community, or
That's what's up.
connect back into some mentorship, or connect back into
Good to see you, bro.
learning more styles?
You should never
Let
stop
me see
learning.
if I can see.
You should never. I don't care how big you get. You should never stop learning. I'm still going to conferences.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm calling you. Hey, I have a shoot.
Yeah.
Like, are you coming to set up this light?
Yeah.
We're still doing portrait meets, so I don't think a lot of people think, oh, I've made it. I'm getting $5,000 for a wedding. I don't need anything else. But I don't believe in that.
Yeah.
I think there's still opportunities to learn, network. You never know who you're going to run into in that networking process. So no.
That's awesome. Appreciate the love. I hope so. I have gotten no sleep this week. Hey, I see NH is in the. Hey, Natasha, Anthony's in here. He's been talking about how nice you are as a co-host. He said, I love y'all's pod. The combos flow so good. Topics are always top notch. Hey, my bro, Dougie Fresh. Hey man, I'm getting there. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You guys can't hear? You can't hear? All right, let's see what's going on. Let me come out of it real fast, and then I'm going to go right back in. You guys can't hear? You guys can't hear? All right, hold on. Let's see. Let's figure out what the problem is. I'm going to go back to the default scene real fast because I can hear it. All right, let's see. All right. That's what happens when you go live. All right, let's see here. Actually, let me. Oh, you know why? I realize what's happening. It's playing through my. Hold on. Let's see. Let's fix it.
Tell me nothing. Let me tell you.
It went through my iPad. So hold on. Let me see here. Let me actually put it through here. Nothing like going live. Actually, you know what? I can fix it this way. Let's do it this way. This is what I get for trying to be extra fancy on this thing and not do it my regular way. All right, so let's go back here. Let's go back to iPad. And then, oh, nope, it's not even coming up now. Oh, there it is. There it is. Let's go back and then let's play. And then let's actually hopefully get some audio from that. Nope, no audio. All right. Well, that was a nice little opportunity. If you guys are paying attention to it over on YouTube, you can finish watching the episode of Focal Conversations with my good friend NH Photos. Let me get into these comments real fast. Joe Norris said, "What I hear, no sleep." Yeah, that's something that's kind of common with me. Sleep is not always the best thing. I've been working on this app for the PMDC community. If you guys had a chance to be a part of that, you had a presentation last night on the new app that's coming along with this season. Hold on real fast. I got a comment from Ant. Says, "Hey, Natasha girl, keeps it all the way real. She gonna call you out." Yes, she will 100% call you out if stuff ain't what it's supposed to be. And that's good. You need a good accountability when it comes to that. Nope, all the audio went out. All right. It was nice while it lasted. And the reason why, my son was calling me a bunch of times, and then I guess my phone was like, hey, either you answer that or I'm going to change the audio. So it did just that. All right, guys. Well, I'm hoping that you guys are enjoying the pod. I'm hoping that you guys are gaining something from the experiences that Natasha and I are sharing with you guys through the pod. And we cannot wait for season 9, which is taking place March 29th. Here in the DMV. We're really excited about everything going on. Shout out to Natasha's sister. She knows why I'm giving her a shout out. Hoping that she feels a speedy recovery, and hoping everything is great at the hospital with you guys. And that's all I got. So guys, support the pod if you can. Subscribe to the channel and keep an ear out for all of the things that we're doing with the PMDC community. And I'm hoping that it's challenging you in your creative journey, whatever it is that your endeavors are. Take advantage of what's available. No longer can they say here in the DMV that there's no community for me, or I don't have access to things. That's no longer the case. There are plenty of creative communities available for you. Take stock. We did a 3-part series, Finding Your Community, getting a feel and resources from community. And then this week we talked about the solo flight. So just lock into those things and get your takeaways, and then start your journey. Don't wait. Guys, we don't have a lot of time. We get one life to live. So take advantage of that. Find your community, then find your voice within a community so that you can express your beautiful art and express your beautiful creativity. All right. That's all I got. Nothing like some good technical difficulties to get you up and going. All right, guys. Y'all have a fantastic rest of the day, and I will catch up with you guys a little bit later.